It's not clickbait. It's not clickbait. I did sell my crypto. I'm going to give you the story because people said I panic sold and I have paper hands. I was literally the butt of everybody's jokes, all right, on the internet when I sold my crypto. Now, I just happen to be right. This is not a video to rub it in your face. Actually, on the contrary, this is a video to apologize to everybody that's been watching my channel for the last couple of years, or you're a new subscriber. I apologize publicly that I did not update you earlier. Now, you'll understand what I mean when I go through the whole entire story of how I basically called the top. And that is not to brag. Again, this is why I take 100% responsibility for all the actions that are within my vicinity, everything around me, which includes you guys on my YouTube channel. And, let's try to fix this, right? Let's try to learn from it. I'm a human just like you. I will make mistakes. But at the same time, I'm going to guarantee learn from it. I'm not going to make the same mistakes twice. That's my goal. But let me show you. The reason why this is an iconic video for me is because I basically told people to sell. This is May 21st, 2021. Everyone was basically telling me I'm wrong. Let's read some of the comments. Look. Should be titled, "Man Tries to Justify Selling a Bunch of Crypto at the Worst Possible Time." People were trying to rip me a new one on Twitter for saying to sell. Look, I'm going to show you guys the physical proof, right? So if we come over here, this is my Zerion account. I have other accounts. I have, Kraken, Coinbase, a whole bunch of other exchanges that I use. So this wasn't the only place I sold, but this was the biggest lump sum amount right here. I sold at 5:40 a.m., May 18th, 2021. $131,000 worth of ETH. Again, it's not my main account. I just have them split amongst others. I sold a good portion of my cryptocurrency in anticipation for the top. And I'm going to give you the background story of how I came to that conclusion. Over here, even if we go to the May 21st, right? Let's look at Ethereum's price on the 21st. If people took my video serious, right? Let's go over here to the 21st. This is the 20th. This is the 21st right here. You'd still be up like 22, 23%. That's for my video. For my actual sell call, over here in Zerion, the 18th at 5:40 a.m. Look, 18th, 5:40 a.m. You'd be up a lot more. Let's go to the 18th. Right here. Right there. You would have saved 43%. Again, in a perfectly logical world, people want for someone to tell them to sell the top. It happened every bull cycle, right? Every bull cycle, people have regret of not selling. But that's not how it works, right? This is your investment. A lot of people thought it was going to continue to grow. A lot of people thought Ethereum was going to go to 10K. A lot of people thought Bitcoin was going to 100K, and maybe it's still going to go to those numbers, right? I think there's a good chance, but I'm not going to look at it that way, and I'm going to, adapt accordingly. But back to the story, over here in Zerion, I made this sell call. I said it in my group. 2 days later, I had to come out with the video. But I think the big reason, I'm coming out and making this is to show you guys that look, there's a lot of things in the background pulling the strings. What people say on the internet, although a lot of influencers are not going to have the balls to tell you that it affects them, it does affect them. It affects every person that's ever made a YouTube video. It affected every entrepreneur and every famous person on planet Earth, especially with someone that's trading cryptocurrency, large accounts that have to have their emotional intelligence in check. So it is a slight hinder. This is why a lot of hedge fund investors, as well as professional traders, do not want to be front and center. They don't want to be popular. They just want to trade their account. And I've never dealt with this before. Remember, I wasn't popular in 2016, 2017, and I didn't really have anyone to look after, right? I didn't have anyone to take responsibility for, and it was a little bit easier to maneuver. So this is a new experience, and this is why I'm apologizing. I'm going to get better and optimize myself so I can come out with these videos a little bit earlier and kind of prepare people for these types of things, if that makes sense. So let me just really quickly go through the story. So how I made this sell call was actually really weird, and you'll understand where I'm coming from. So basically, I have a group called Fundamental Secrets, and we had at the time 6 coaches. Okay. Now, we all were looking at basically some on-chain metrics. I forgot exactly what it was, but we were looking at on-chain metrics. And one of the coaches said, "Hey, look, this on-chain metric is basically saying that the bull run's coming to an end. There could be a serious top. There's a high chance that the market can dump." So we looked at it. I actually pulled the all-nighter because this is a very big decision. You don't want to just come out and say the wrong thing in these types of decisions. And you can see how serious I took it, right? We stayed up overnight, and you can go to my Twitter and see, I was talking about it on Twitter saying, hey, we're pulling an all-nighter, et cetera, et cetera. I have nothing to hide. All the information's on the internet, right? You guys can go do your own research. I had to make a decision. We had to make a decision if we were going to, start telling people to sell or start selling ourselves. We thought about it a lot. We looked at every variable, and we actually ended up coming to the conclusion that the bull run was not over. Me and all my coaches weighed out every single pro and con we could possibly come up with, and we came up with the answer that the bull run was not over. Bitcoin was going to continue to rise. I really thought the bull run was going to continue, and maybe that was, the pros and cons speaking, or maybe that was because I didn't want to make a sell call in the middle of the bull run. Everybody would look at me crazy, right? We don't sell. And this was the night of the 18th, but right before I went to sleep, I just had a massive gut feeling. I don't know why. I acted on impulse and I said, you know what? I'm selling about 30, 35%. This was just a gut feeling. I went for it, not logical. And I sold a lot of crypto. And then I went in my group, I updated everyone that I sold this cryptocurrency, and I let the coaches know. I said, hey, look, I know we kind of came to the bullish scenario, but this is how I feel, and I'm just gonna go out on a limb here, and I did. And the reason why I did it, just to give you guys a heads up, is because at the time I just thought about it. I'm like, look, the price can jump up maybe 10%, but the chance of it going down is much more. So I was just like, let me just get out of the market, right? I have other things to worry about, if that makes sense.